but the obstacles are practically the same. The obstacles are the following. If you have the property and you're trying to sell it now, there are half a dozen obstacles. Number one is the banks are no longer as flexible as they used to be. And they demand more data from the buyers. They want more down payments, and they're much pickier on every step. Show me your financial statement. Show me your last 2 years' taxes. Make a statement for this. Show me your financial statement. We demand this and that. Banks are not as easy as they used to be for obvious reasons. They lost a lot of money. They had to do a lot of short sales. They continue to do short sales. We actually have an entire training on what's called shadow foreclosures, going through 2015, 16, 17, and all the way to 2018 statistically. That's what's happening. Now, many buyers cannot qualify. That's another obstacle. You get people that say, I would like to buy. Next thing you know, they can't qualify. They either don't have enough for the down payment, or their income is good for them but not good enough for the bank, or maybe they had a blemish in their credit in the past and all of a sudden it's a big deal now. I mean, I've had a buyer that had a cell phone dispute that showed up on his credit report, and he couldn't buy a property for me that is $120,000. $120,000. I mean, the payment is like $800 some a month. That's it. The guy was paying $960 for rent. Couldn't qualify for a bank loan. Guess what we did with him? Carry the note. He got in, made payments on time, payments, principal, interest, tax, insurance are less than his rent, what his rent used to be. So the obstacles are buyers cannot qualify. So if people don't know how to carry notes, they're stuck. They're looking for smaller pool of buyers. What if the property doesn't appraise? You see, that's another obstacle. You have appraisers that are either amateurs, or they're too scared, or the area had a lot of foreclosures, but in the past, so all the old comparable sales, which actually, derive the value for your current sale, that they were low-priced properties because they were in foreclosure, the banks were desperate, and the entire thing is affecting you. The property is not appraising, but it's actually, in all honesty, worth more. So if the property doesn't appraise, let's say it appraises at 55 and you want to sell it at 60, how are you going to do it? The banks are only going to loan, let's say, 40, and the property appraises at 55, so now they're going to loan even less. The buyer's not qualifying. You got a combination of obstacles here. What if the realtor wants to actually list the property and charge so much in commission that it now does not make it beneficial for you to go through a realtor, but you want to expose the property to the market, and maybe you may be willing to pay one commission, not a listing commission and a commission to the broker that's going to bring the buyers? What do you do? This could be another obstacle that people run into. What if the properties are taking too long to sell? It's called DOM, days on market. You can actually go to any market in the United States by zip code, and you can ask a realtor that's actually having access to their data online on the multiple listing and ask them, hey, what's the DOM in this market for a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home, for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath home, for a commercial property, for whatever you want? And they can tell you, oh, the DOM is 4 months, 120 days, or whatever it is. You see that if you put your property on the market, you will not only have to pay commission, it may not appraise, buyers may not qualify, bankers are more difficult, and it's going to sit on the market for 4 months. Well, the velocity is very important for you because it can affect your yield. If you get a property, turn around, sell it in 90 days after rehab, is a lot more profitable than if you sell it 6 months later. Even if you're making a little bit more 6 months later, because you could have flipped another property. So maybe you have an obstacle in that market where properties sit too long on the market.